everybody. Welcome to Open Mic Podcast. Every time I open this podcast, I always like to remind you, if this is your first time watching, that open mic means nothing is off the table. We can talk about anything we want, go down all sorts of roads. And tonight, my guest is Dean DiLillo, and he is, what's the title of you at Knights of Columbus?
Grand Knight.
He's the Grand Knight of the Knights of Columbus, and I have had you on before, and so you're a repeat guest, and I'm excited because I feel like even from the last time we talked, the Knights of Columbus is it's glowing with stuff going on.
Exactly. Thanks for having me back. And I think I was here a year and a half ago, maybe,
Something
or so,
like that.
talking about some of the things that we were involved in. Yeah, the last couple of years has been a massive increase in the number of things we've done for the city, for the community. We've had a lot more involvement, and working with Stephanie at the Chamber, we've had a lot more ability to collaborate with them and hold events with them. And, so it's been a great partnership.
So just to roll back, the Knights of Columbus it started in 1882 or something like that?
Something like that.
And then it's been in Massachusetts for 130 years?
It's been in Melrose for 130 years.
Wow.
Just in Melrose.
Just in Melrose.
So, yeah.
That's incredible. But it seems like where I grew up here, and I mean, I think my brother and my father were Knights, but it's one of these things I really didn't understand and know what was going on, but now that I'm an adult, and you guys have really kind of like dove in, I feel like it's a real viable thing going on at Melrose. Like, are you going to Turner's? Yeah, but then I'm going to the Knights. Or, you know,
Right.
It just seems like you guys have done a nice job of coming up with ideas of how to bring people in.
Right.
And the sort of focus of the Knights is faith-based, being good people, giving back to the community.
Yeah, I think decades ago, it was probably more church-based, faith-based. More events happened at the church, or were like bake sales and pancake breakfasts and things like that. And
Gotcha.
the whole parish came, right?
Yes.
And then somewhere along the line, 60s or 70s, 80s, I mean, focus has changed, and it became more aligned with the global organization. So there were more programs. A Coats for Kids program was started to buy coats and give them to children around the world.
Yeah.
We used to do the Tootsie Rolls at the Victorian Fair, remember?
Yes. Yes.
And that all went to mentally challenged illnesses or people.
Yep.
The last few years, we've been more involved in holding events such, we hold 2 concerts a year at Memorial Hall. We've had, as you'll hear later, Stephanie will mention Hometown Heroes. We've done that a few years. We've got shows at the hall. We've got the open mic night every Thursday.
Yeah.
Comedy night.
And now, so
sporadically.
how do you deal with the proceeds? Like, how do you decide what to do with that?
All of those things, outside of whatever it costs to hold the event, like rent the hall, et cetera, all the money goes to charities. So we have, again, the Coats for Kids. There's a program called Wheelchairs Across America. We buy 1 or 2 wheelchairs a year. We support our veterans locally and globally. All the food kitchens and food pantries, and what else do we have? We donate to those. But our focus really, as far as the Melrose Council is concerned, our focus has been, we'll try to keep it as local as possible, because we know our community needs certain things.
Yes.
So we donate money to each of the parishes, and we have 2 scholarships for St. Mary's School children.
Yep. And I think that something like the wheelchair, that you donate for that. You know, those are the things, like, if you're not personally involved, like I don't have anybody in my family that's in a wheelchair, so I don't really think about it, but then you realize, like, expensive, all these things that, thank God, you guys are, on top of some of these things that kind of slide under the radar of the average person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even the food drives and things like that, like, it's really surprising how close to home it is. There's a lot of people that need help with food that, it can be hard to ask personally. So if it's part of and you can go and, so
Right, right.
it's got a respectfulness to it. Like, I know there's needs, but so you have your concerts, you have, and that's fun. And then people always feel good if there's like a charity involved with it. Like, yes, I'm out at a concert, but I'm also supporting. Because isn't the concert that is coming up, that goes to like pantry, right? Food pantry?
Right.
Okay.
It's actually tomorrow night
Okay.
at Memorial Hall. The band called The Rebels is playing, Tom Petty tribute band. Yeah, all the money that we receive from that will go towards probably several of the pantries.
Okay.
Also, my brother's table, which actually it's not a pantry, but it's a kitchen, so it serves food and meals to people. And we'll divvy it up, and over the next month or so, we'll start doling out the money.
Yeah, fantastic.
So it's great.
So I'm going to be bringing on Stephanie and Lindsay. You know this, people watching don't know yet, but there is some movement to have a women's auxiliary.
Right. Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. There was some talk with close colleague Mark Hall, has been a Knight for many years. We started to get involved with Stephanie, and there was a case of some women wanted to get involved. Women that weren't our wives, that were always helping us anyways. But and it's a men's organization, so we couldn't, by the bylaws and guidelines, we couldn't admit women, right?
Correct.
But we found out that there's an associated auxiliary that women can join. And so Stephanie and her colleagues have looked into that, and we'll be starting that up. We're excited about it because there's a lot of people that have been helping us, and it's hard to recognize and name them all. But if they're all part of an organization, it's easy to just partner with the organization, and then you've got this collective of people.
Right, they're under an umbrella that you can tap into.
Right.
That's
and
great.
vice versa. Whatever events they might want to hold for their own charity, we could help them. Like
Exactly.
give them the building.
Exactly. No, that building, really, I see it lit up all the time now, and it's great.
Yeah. We're trying to increase the usage of it. Again, whether it's for rentals which supports the building and allows us to give money away, or sometimes you
get members
donate
sometimes.
it, yeah.
Sometimes people come and say, wait, what is this group? What is happening?
Right.
I've always enjoyed it. Nice people. I think I'll join.
Yeah. The number of people that we've met that said, I've lived here my whole life. I didn't know this building was here. Like, seriously?
Right.
But it's true.
But well, if it's not being utilized, you start to just walk by it.
Right.
Like it's not in your radar because it's not lit up. But it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few events happening now.
There's actually an open mic tonight, I think.
There's an open mic tonight, 7 to 10:30, upstairs. Come on by. There's actually a concert tomorrow at the Memorial Hall. There's also one December 7th.
Really? Because I know you do one in the
spring. In our
spring.
hall.
Oh, in your hall.
I'm going to forget now.
Okay.
It's a band called Grand Theft Audio.
Oh, there you go. You remembered.
So they're going to play December 7th. It'll be a blast. They're a great cover band.
That's awesome.
So.
Well, thank you again for coming on to Open Mic Podcast. A lot of fun things coming in 2025 at the Knights of Columbus. Lots of stuff.
There sure are.
Thanks for watching. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Open Mic Podcast. I just like to say this every time I start this podcast. The definition of open mic is that we can talk about anything. There is nothing off the table. And I have some guests that really, let me just say, go. So buckle up. Tonight, my guests are Stephanie Nelson, a repeat guest, and a first guest.
Wait, repeat? I'm your first. Wait, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, Lindsay Chisholm. See what I mean? Buckle up. And so I know these two lovelies. Stephanie is the head of the chamber for Melrose, and Lindsay runs the Montessori school. But I really got to know them through Rotary, which is another program here in Melrose where we give back to the community. I say that because tonight's topic is a new situation that's happening with the Knights of Columbus here in Melrose, where we're going to have a ladies' auxiliary. And we are going to be called, I'm not a member yet, but it's sounding good if these two are in it, the Columbettes,
Right.
which I think...
Sounds very official.
It kind of sounds like majorette.
Yeah.
Like I kind of feel like, it's kind of fun.
I feel like there'll be jackets, badges, all of it. All of it.
So, ladies, tell me, like, what's happening? What's going on? Like, where are you at in this process? Because I know it's new.
So your application's still pending, just so you know. So we'll let you know about that. But moving forward, go, Stephanie.
The
Yeah.
criminal record wasn't
I know.
always clear. Okay,
We told you about that right away.
So I will say 3 years ago, when I first started working with the Knights of Columbus, when I first started at the Chamber, the Knights were just this incredible group of yes people. They were like, yeah, you want to use the space? Do you want to do this? We could do a party. We could, anything like community oriented. And I was just blown away at like the generosity and that instant kind of like, yes, we're in collaboration. And so I joked one night with a couple of the Knights, I want to join. Like, I just love this vibe. They were like, oh, Steph, it's all men. And I joked, and I was like, what are we, in 1950? And they said, well, no, Stephanie, we talked about it, and I understood. And then Mark Hall said, you could establish a ladies' auxiliary. And I was like, okay, what's involved? Well, 18 months, almost 20, maybe 2 years later,
Now, yeah.
we've been talking about it for a while. We've been doing a ton of research. There are quite a few chapters across the country.
Yep.
There's only one in Massachusetts,
Only one.
down
We
in
would be the
Weymouth.
second.
We'd be the second,
Okay.
which is super exciting. And for me, at least, I look at the Knights. They have the beautiful space. They're a community center, but they do unbelievable work in the community and help people. And so we are hopeful that we're going to have a group of women that want to work alongside the Knights and
Just carry
do
on the
good,
mission.
do good.
Continue
Like
the mission.
I use the word amplify all the time, where I feel like lots of people are doing good things, and if we celebrate one another versus looking at each other as competition, we amplify all the missions.
100%.
That's it.
What comes
Bigger
to-
and better.
What comes to mind is Bill Butler, and what's the other boy's name?
Ramsey.
Boy. Ramsey.
I mean, he
I
is
say
a boy to
'cause
us,
I'm like twice his
right?
age.
But Ramsey with their events, I love.
It's one of these things where I feel the exact same way. Like, I watch them, and what they do is they have, like 3 or 4 fundraisers a year, maybe 3?
Yeah.
And what they do is they just look for, like, you go and you get a glass of Pinot Grigio, maybe. Just
Sure, as an
random-
example.
Top of mind.
just a random
That just
drink.
came to mind.
But you don't pay for that because they pay for that because of the donations.
Right.
And that feeling, like, for whatever reason, I feel like people always give more than what they
Of
would
course.
normally do. Like,
Right.
oh, I had 3 wines, blah, blah, blah. But when you're having that atmosphere and everybody's, like, feeling good,
Right.
and it's just, like you said, it's just feeding off each other. And I think that if we can develop the female auxiliary and just, we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Nope.
We're just going to carry it on.
Right.
And, just like tentacles.
Yep.
We're going to just get out there. So the other thing that I find interesting, I was thinking about this earlier today, is because the world is so, like, isolated, people are working from home more than ever.
Yep.
They're on their phones all the time. Like, we're still humans that need other humans, like,
And connection.
live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that if I'm going to have my time, I want to be doing it with people that I like, with like-minded people.
Right.
That, is it a charity? Even better. Like, so I think these types of things are starting to be even more needed in people's lives,
Right.
because
Absolutely.
it's like, we look forward to Rotary. We
Right.
get a big kick out of that.
Absolutely.
And I think that the Knights will be very similar. And I think if you're watching this and you're home and you're saying,
Sounds interesting.
maybe I'll check it out. Because the thing is, the other thing that I love about Melrose is it's literally a one-stop shop. Like,
Yep.
why would you leave Melrose?
Do people leave Melrose?
I mean,
Two townies?
yeah, exactly.
And she's
You guys tell me.
You're a
I'm
townie.
I'm
You're a townie now.
clearly-
You're not
yeah.
leaving.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, okay, we'll slide you in.
I'm a, townie, fake townie,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
But no, it's just funny because like when a group of friends are like, oh, well, let's meet in, wherever, Wakefield or Malden, that's fine. But it's like, why?
Right. Why? Why would you venture
Yeah,
over city lines?
she goes, that's so far.
Right,
Well,
right.
I'm not going that far.
I have been known to say
I was
that.
like,
Wait,
oh,
Stoneham?
I go, what?
Okay. I will say, when we had our first meeting, which took place just a couple weeks ago, anyone that's planned an event, Lindsay and I had like pre-event jitters. Will people come? Will they actually show up? Will it be 3 people? Will it be 5 people? We had 19 women come to learn about this potential ladies auxiliary. And it wasn't like, oh, let me just explore and listen. These ladies were all in. They were like, thank you for giving us this platform. We want to feel connected. We want to do more in the community. And when I tell you, like, it was a really wide sort of spectrum. We had a 25-year-old that had just moved to Melrose, and then we had a 75-year-old woman, and everyone's looking for the same thing, but maybe in their own kind of personal way. But I think
same.
the
But
community and
they're
connection.
also going to bring, like the 25-year-old's going to bring like some,
A different
sort of
energy.
younger sass going on.
Yeah.
And then there's wisdom
Right.
with the older woman. And I think it's great. So what are your next steps now? What's going on?
I think also is collaborating again and getting our second meeting
Yes.
underway. And I look at it also as drawing in or giving the nights and the space in the area a glow up, if you will.
Yes.
I like kind of that analogy. It gives a good visual and a spotlight also because the area and where the Knights is located.
It's amazing.
And not only what the Knights does, but it's also what the space provides for the community and what they're able to do in the space. And that's also what we felt was another area or opportunity in which we could gather.
I know you spoke to Dean earlier, but Dean's been such a supporter. He's like, whatever you need, we want to help. Like, we are all
Right.
in
But also,
for
wouldn't you
this.
say, like, because we grew up here,
Right.
like, the Knights was always there, but it's definitely like...
Oh, it's next level now.
It's
Yeah.
it's the open mic nights.
Yes.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
And we
these
joke, you
fundraisers.
walk by and you see it dark, and for me, I'm like, oh, missed opportunity. And I really
Right.
think if we get a group of women, whether it be 18 or 25 or 50, and all of those women have their own respective circles, and then they want to host events there, the more activity that's happening in that space
Yes.
means the more good we can do.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, about numbers is, I'd rather have 5 really all in than
True.
25
You got that right.
that are like,
Totally.
Right.
Yep.
whatever we thought you were
Yeah.
giving snacks and drinks,
Yeah.
and
Right.
now I'm leaving.
But it's
You know what I mean?
instilling in women too that gathering and that confidence within that even that one
Boosting each
person.
other.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
getting them then to create their own initiative
Right.
as well.
Exactly.
And
We received thank you notes from women
Yes.
that attended that first meeting.
Really?
Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Opportunity.
I've lived in Melrose for ...
It was just
and I really
astounding.
haven't felt connected yet. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're looking at becoming a member of this organization where we're hopefully going to get you to participate and do good. And you're
Yeah.
thanking us
Yeah.
Right.
for an opportunity to do good.
Right.
To me, it's
full
like a...
circle.
It totally
It's full
is.
circle. And the other thing is, like, with Rotary, we did Habitat for Humanity. And it was a Saturday, and we went, and, they taught you how to, like, use your hammer and this and that.
Yep.
But what I take from that is the memory. Like, that's a memory. Like, everybody that was there, like, that's locked. Like, we're locked in to
Mm-hmm. Right.
that. And I
Yep.
think that that's what's going to happen with this.
Absolutely.
You're going
I
to have a
agree.
project, and you're going to get to know your 25-year-old, your older women, whatever. And it's just, that's what life's all about.
Right.
It's the memories, and it's the feeling good about who you are, what you do with your
Absolutely.
time.
And I think the Knights already have this incredible calendar of events and organizations they support. We're not trying to dilute. If anything, we just want to amplify it, right?
Yeah.
We want, so
Exactly.
when they're doing a Hometown Heroes event, we want the place to be packed.
Yeah, we'll collaborate,
so we can
magnify,
help. We can help
if
market
anything.
it. We can help communicate. Again, I feel like it's not an overcomplicated process. There are quite a few steps involved, getting up and running and
Yes, of
official.
course.
I think there's like a big ceremony that's going to happen, which we're all about.
Yeah,
we
like
love
the
pomp and
queen or
circumstance.
king or
There's going to be like
something.
some,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I wear some glitter? Like,
Totally.
what's going
Yep,
on?
glitter is
Got it,
encouraged.
yeah.
And just in case.
Sashes.
Yeah, I love it. And just in case you're not sure, the Knights of Columbus is literally in the center of town. It's like right across the street from the police station. And you can just like, come down, go to whatever function you have.
Yeah.
Maybe you go out to dinner at one of the nice restaurants. Like,
Yes.
it's really, that was kind of the goal of the chamber many, many years ago was how
Absolutely.
can we get people from Melrose to not feel like they have to go to Boston?
Right.
What
Right.
can we do? And so that's where Home for the Holidays came into play and all these kinds of things. And I really think it's happening. Like it's really becoming a walking town.
Right, and I think the Knights is a huge piece of that because they are open to, they do open mic night, they do comedy nights, they're willing to try
Yeah.
new events, new series, and that's an exciting thing for us because with the Ladies Auxiliary, now these folks that are coming in, they might have ideas that never even registered for us,
Right.
but we know that our partners at the Knights are gonna say, yeah, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
If it's good for the community, if it's good for us to give back,
I think basically what we're saying is it's a compliment to the Knights of Columbus of the example that they've set.
1,000,000%.
And that's
I'm-
that's why you guys were interested.
Right.
That's why
Absolutely.
other people are interested.
Absolutely.
I think
That's
all
why-
three of us are admittedly biased. We love the Knights, right?
Well, I
We
mean,
love
come
the
on.
Knights. We want to work with the Knights.
Absolutely.
And if we
Yeah.
can't be Knights, then we
Yeah.
will settle for
We'll go with
Columbettes.
Columbettes.
Which I was
Yeah,
shocked
yeah.
we couldn't be Knights.
Yeah, I know.
That's okay.
That's
It's
all
all
right,
good.
that's fine.
And I also think like what an example for us with kids to be able to tell our
Yeah.
kids, we brought this to Melrose. We're the second charter in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
when someone says, what is it?
Right.
The description and the explanation can be different for different people.
Correct.
Yeah.
We know what we want it to be big picture, but it might be connection, it might
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
And it's all
instilling in
okay.
them, though,
It's all
that
okay.
confidence to do that.
Right.
is gonna be
Ladies,
amazing.
believe it or not, our time is up.
Ah.
I know. It goes
Okay.
so
Well, she's been here
Should we-
several times, so it's, I mean,
Oh,
let's
here
just
we
fine.
go.
let's just
It's totally fine.
Let's just air this piece out,
Okay,
okay?
it's fine,
The
whatever.
only time I've been here before was to talk about something very, very important:
of course.
Taylor Swift and Travis
Kelsey.
Kelce.
That I give you the bracelets for.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So I
you
was
were-
here.
you were-
I was
you were
here.
part of it.
Okay,
You were
you're
part of it.
welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, you're welcome.
I hope people that are watching know we are silly and fun, but gigantic hearts. We're in Rotary. We want people that want to
Yeah. We're
get that
passionate.
feeling and be passionate about doing more and,
Yeah.
and doing good and
100%.
with a little silly on the side.
A little silly on the side is always a good
Or
thing to have.
in all of it. It's
In
fine.
all
of it.
It's okay to laugh,
Right?
guys.
Yeah,
Right?
It's
Life is
okay.
serious enough.
Yeah.
It's
Come on,
okay
right?
to laugh. I mean, come on.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for giving us this chance.
Thank you very much.
All right. I think I have somebody else that I'm interviewing.
All right.
Yeah?
I don't know.
All right.
We'll let you know about your application.
Dave will let me
Okay.
know.
Thanks, Julie.